Back so. I always miss this. I don't check the mail often.
Get a lot of shit.
I'm gonna be on. 1 minute. Sorry, I don't have seconds on my phone. Let's get seconds going. Yeah. I had Ian for years ago.
All right. Stand for the pledge, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
roll call. Mr. Capone, present. George Merrill, present. Noel Hinckley,
Present.
Nancy Provo,
Present.
Laura Clifford.
Present.
Election of chair, vice chair for our coming year, 12/16/25 to 12/1/26.
I'll make a motion, nominate Laura Clifford.
Second.
A motion in a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Vice chair.
I make a motion for George Merrill, to vice chair.
Second.
I'll make a motion for Noel Hinckley.
I'll second it.
So how do we do that? Do we vote one at a time? Or put names in the hat? Or secret ballot?
Don't know. Never went that way. I don't know.
Thank you.
There's the town clerk.
I think you have to vote on the first motion.
What
right?
Yeah,
rules?
yeah.
Select-
We had a-
Well, it's nominate, well, it's not, it's nomination, so,
what
Right, but you had a
rules?
first and a second.
We had a first and a second.
right, but again, nominate multiple people, go ahead.
What rules has the select board adopted?
Robert's Rules of Order.
Let me go grab Robert's Rule of Order and find out exactly how it's supposed to be done.
I think the first
Still
one
got a
was
vote,
motion.
yeah.
Right, but I think that you can do multiple nominations for one position, so I think a secret ballot would be the way to do it, or a ballot, so that.
Someone would have to make that motion.
I'll make the motion. With that, go by written ballot, position.
Second.
Why does it need to be secret? It doesn't really have to be secret ballot. We looking it up or? Oh, you just sent
I was
it.
just sending.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking we were gonna rip one safe paper.
Don't vote yet.
Yeah, we have to wait for two emails.
Lori's ripping them up.
My sister was giving me Nancy.
I guess this means you get to vote more.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, there's now a chair, so I will leave it to the determination of the chair.
Oh, gosh. Why do you do this to me? I'm the first one.
You're the chair.
What's supposed to be a parliamentarian?
So motions relating to nominations, while an election is pending, a member may wish to offer a motion to determine the method of making nominations. When it is not prescribed in the bylaws or rules of order, members also may wish to offer motions or close reopen nominations. Incidental motions related to nominations take precedence over the pending election of which nominations are to be made. If a member is seeking the floor to make a nomination, the motion to close nominations is out of order. They yield to the privileged motions and the motion to lay on the table.
Questions?
John? I'm sorry.
I know, I was like, God, you guys are doing this to me right off the bat. This is not.
The charter does not allow for a secret ballot. The charter says, the Board of Selectmen, all voting shall be by show of hands, except that a vote recording the yeas and nays of the selectmen shall be taken upon the request of any selectman. It doesn't allow for a secret ballot.
All right.
Okay, so there's a motion, there's a nomination for George, so we'll vote on that first. So all those who would like to approve George as vice chair. And, thank you. And then, do I do not in favor?
No.
Or just all those for Noel for vice chair? So agree? So now, vice chair.
Turn your book back.
We might need that.
Order
Okay,
another one.
so moving along to agenda adjustments. Are there any agenda adjustments? None? Ceremonial presentations and recognitions. Next is, section 3 for public hearing informational meeting. So I'll need a motion to enter.
I make a motion that we enter public hearing for a liquor license application for Mixers Nightclub and Lounge.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? All right, we're open in public hearing for mixers. I did print and attach the information in your packet that Raquel had emailed to us previously. Is there any discussion? No, no, here. Seeing as there's none, we're
My only discussion is looking at the calls for service for the police department. Gonna put the police chief on the hot seat and ask him, is he recommending that we allow them to have a liquor license?
Stand over here if you don't mind, sir.
Sure.
Yes, evening. Good evening, everybody. So quite a turnout. That's impressive. It's good. I'm new here, so I've only got like close, maybe 5 weeks experience. I've heard a lot of horror stories about certain drinking establishments. However, given my scanning of the nature and amount of calls, I have no opposition to it. That could change in the future depending on patronage, who patronizes it. But I hear the horror stories, but I look at, and I'm looking to George for a little bit of advice where he's already been privy to the information. Would it be consistent with your view, George, to not oppose it and allow the establishment to be licensed?
Yes.
Okay. That's where I stand as well. Any questions? Okay.
any other discussion?
Where are we on the firewalls? How are those coming along?
This is just for their license.
That's just for their license?
For their license only, yeah.
So,
Rick, did you have anything to add? You're okay. Yeah. Here's a motion for them. Or-
You just close it.
So, vote.
you need a motion to come out.
I
know, but you do. I heard him. I'll make a motion to come out of public hearing.
And then your second.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Carries and passes. Next, I'll need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve Mixer's liquor license.
In a second.
Second.
Any discussion?
Should we add the dates in there? Is that necessary?
The state establishes the dates.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Item B is liquor license for Sabatis Disco for a public hearing. So I'll need a motion to enter public hearing for that.
Make a motion to go to public hearing for liquor license for status disc golf.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? All right, we are open for public hearing for Sabatis Disco liquor license. Is there any conversation?
How are things going?
Well, again, short tenure here, however, based on history, verbal history, and the stats don't create a situation where I'm overly concerned. So I would recommend that it be passed.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
I'll make a motion to come out of a public hearing.
Second.
All right, we have closed public hearing and now we need a motion to approve. Oh, sorry. All those in favor? Opposed? I'll get it. So now we need a motion to approve it.
I'll make a motion to approve Sabatis Disc Golf liquor license.
Second.
All in favor? Or any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Okay, next on public hearings, informational meeting, gaming license for American Legion.
Make a motion to go to public hearing for the gaming license for the American Legion.
I'll second. Are you seconding? Oh, I thought I saw your hand go up.
No.
Oh, sorry, I seconded.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor for opening for public hearing? Opposed? We are open for public hearing on American Legion gaming license. Any discussion?
Is it approved?
We're not sure yet.
So I don't know, they're trying to get a gaming license to start a bingo game. So, sorry, my name is Leon Lasher and I'm the commander of Post 135. They're trying to start some bingo games and stuff. So that's just about it. So I don't know why they need a gaming license. It hasn't been discussed with me.
You have that.
Yeah, they haven't.
You have that.
So, because it's bingo. So.
What night?
Bingo. So they're trying to get it started. We don't know if it's going to happen, but unless we get the license, we're not going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So, but as you know, the American Legion is not really a hot spot.
Well, it could be if you're putting bingo in.
It's no
Well,
bingo.
right now
It's
they're,
cribbage.
they're playing cribbage.
Nah, I'm not gonna.
So just so people are clear, it's for cribbage only.
Right.
So that-
That's just cribbage. So, cribbage only night. So we are trying to expand the Legion and try to get more of the community involved in the Legion. So we figured that might be something that we could do.
I'm in.
Other than that.
Right.
So, I know nothing about bingo,
Neither did I.
but
Can you spell it?
it could be fun. Can I spell it? I went to Oak Hill.
Any other discussion?
Nothing.
Thank you.
I make a motion to
That's
come
my
out of
only
public hearing.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Coming out of public hearing? opposed? And now I'll need a motion to approve it.
Point of information, I called the gaming commission of the state. The board has two options at this point, and I just want to make the board aware. The board can approve the gaming license for 1 year and sign the documentation the town manager has, or the board can approve the town write a letter which would approve the Legion for 5 years. They wouldn't have to come back for a gaming license for 5 years. So, but I'm gonna leave that up to the board, but I want the board to be aware of their options before they make a motion.
So this was, can you just clarify, this packet that was presented to us by email from the town manager was a 1-year agreement?
If signed, and it says on there, there is a spot. It says check here if you have attached letter of approval, letters that have an expiration date of greater than 5 years. If that box is checked, the municipal officers do not sign this, and it can be good for up to 5 years. And it would be signed by me as the town clerk with the seal of the town, with a copy of the minutes from this meeting stating that it was approved for, you could set it for 3 years up to 5 years. You can set it for more than 1 year. If you sign this, it's good for 1 year. But you can have it for up to 5 years with a letter of approval from the town. I spoke to the gaming commission because I saw that checkbox and I had questions. So I just wanted the board to be aware of the options before you made a motion and made a decision on this. Could save you time down the road. That's what I'm trying to get at.
So there's been a motion, a second, and it's been already put through, like it's already passed. Yeah.
We only have a motion and a second on the floor, so you can vote on that to approve.
So we call the point of order before it was over.
Yeah.
But you said you didn't state a time period. What did you say?
That was just a motion to come out of the public hearing. I stood up before you made a motion to approve anything.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Logically, I see no reason why we should not do it for longer than 1 year. Maybe we don't do it for the full 5. If there's some reason people might not feel comfortable with it, we could do 3 years or.
Can you pick the year, how many years?
Yeah, TJ said we could choose up to, anything up to 5 years.
The application says
That's
1 year, correct? Was it handwritten?
No, it's on the application.
It's on the application,
Yeah.
so you have to get an application that will say,
Yeah.
before have that taken off, correct? That would say 5 years.
There's a checkbox on the application.
Is it
that you
check mark?
can check.
It's a checkbox and it says with a letter of approval. So the letter of approval would have the date specified in it.
For how many years? But you would not have, would you have to check, not have the 1 year check marked off? And then have the letter of approval? for the
1
5
year
years?
is our signatures on it.
Right,
Yeah, and then,
But it's not check marked?
correct.
Correct.
Cool, then you guys give it 5 years.
maybe see how it's going in 2 or 3.
Even if we do nothing, we're good for 5 years.
Or whatever the selectmen say. The selectmen say 3 years or 5 years or whatever the selectmen says.
I guess politician. I guess for me,
Excuse me.
I guess for me, if the Legion's talking about doing other gaming, that this is what would only apply to cribbage. So if they're
Bingo.
talking about bingo or poker or anything else, I'll come back to get another gaming license. This is for cribbage only.
This is for
Bingo.
No, this is cribbage only.
I don't believe that.
You said bingo, but the application's for
That
cribbage.
already should be done.
It's for cribbage.
They're already doing that.
Yeah, we
We're
are.
doing cribbage right now,
Right.
right this second.
think what he's trying to say is the application that's been presented states cribbage, not bingo. So
That's
as
right.
far as the rest of the application,
And the game of. Usually they put in one every year that's for cribbage,
Right.
Yes, this is a renewal.
for renewal.
License.
And if we go for bingo, we come in and we put another one in for bingo, I guess.
Right, so it's cribbage.
This one
Right,
is
so
cribbage.
No bingo.
I'm just trying to say, this is, this is cribbage only, and if we go for 5 years, it's still cribbage only. If you decide to do bingo next year, you'll have to apply for a different license.
Yes.
I believe that's correct.
So, any other discussion? So there's a first, a second.
We did, I guess. Is there a, did we make a motion?
No,
All right.
you came out of
Okay.
public. And no motion.
Did they have a first and a second for,
Point of information. They made a motion and a second to come out of public hearing. They voted, approved it, and I stood up and made a point of information which trumps any discussion on the floor, which would stop anything, according to Robert's Rules of Order.
Yeah.
So there was no other motion made after you came out of public hearing.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the gaming license for 3 years. And we attach the appropriate documentation necessary.
Yeah, I'll second that for cribbage. So there's a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Great.
What did you say, 3 years?
3 years for the cribbage.
so they don't sign?
I'll take it back now. So it doesn't get confused.
Do we need to sign those other ones or?
Nope, there's nothing to sign on those. We did the vote.
Moving on, staff, new hires.
Want to stand up, Caitlin? Want to introduce yourself?
Hi there, I'm Kaylin Blondin. I was just recently hired as the office clerk. I started on December 1st, and I'm happy to be here.
Welcome. Thank you. Also, Val.
Oh, Robert, he couldn't be here tonight. He had another place he had to be.
Okay. And then resignations, Joseph Burke from the police department and Zach Mitchell from the fire department.
Correct.
Department heads, fire. Is there any report in the fire?
Not tonight, no.
There's none. Police,
Should I speak to the accommodation as well? First, I'd like to say, we have a young man who's a new police officer, has not been to the full-time police academy yet, but is scheduled to go. There has been a snafu, so to speak, with some of the documentation. We're working that out with the academy. And so he did something that's unusual for even long tenured police officers, which I was very happy to see. A lot of times people say, oh, police aren't social workers. Well, we are social workers to some degree. We do wear other hats. However, I was very pleased that he handled the case of domestic violence, which was relatively serious. And the way it worked out was the victim didn't have a whole lot of resources available to her. And it wasn't, we've done what we're obligated to do under the law and also a general practice in policing. However, this individual took it upon himself to follow up several days and make sure that the victim got the services that she needed along with lodging. And he went above and beyond his obligation for police servicing. I noticed it, I was very impressed with it. And the officer's name is Nathaniel Boucher. Now, like I said, he's a new officer, been on a few months training, And he'll get a lot more training, of course, at the police academy. So we want to recognize him and hopefully send a message to other people in our business that it doesn't have to go that extra step or extra distance, especially in issues like domestic violence. The lady does have some mental health issues, and so she was even more so victimized and or at risk after the intervention. And if any of you as we've already heard, I'm relatively new to this job. I've been the chief of police and administrator and supervisor in another agency as well as the chief in another agency. I've got a lot of years in policing. I'm very grateful that the select board and the town managers chose me. It is a challenge here in Sabatis. There has been a lot of chiefs that have preceded me, and I want to stay as long as I can. So thank you again for the job. Not that I needed one, but I like police work and I like people. So with that said, George has asked for statistics relative to some drinking establishments and entertainment venues. And so I could go down a wheelbarrow full of incidents that we've handled, but a lot of, we get our share of domestic violence calls. But also, there's some impressive numbers here relative to our calls to service. Police information is one of them. It says 33 calls. Now, a lot of police information is given to us with the understanding that it can be kept confidential for obvious reasons. But the one that stood out the most was vehicle stops, and there were 90 of them. 72 were issued warnings for speed, and the remainder got summonses. Now, with that said, I'm trying to, when I can fit it in, create what we call directed patrol. That means in the absence of the officer going out and doing what they want, where they want, which is a good thing. We also, I've been getting feedback from the public relative to speed and traffic. And of course, I've noticed in the morning and the evening, the rush hour traffic going back and forth between Lewiston, Auburn, and other places where people work, Baffine and works was mentioned. So 90 stops in a month, that isn't for the year. And that's pretty good. I want to increase that if time permits. I've asked the officers to triage their complaints. So if you're out on one of these directed patrol details, if a call comes in, it's just a call for administrative or informational. No, that isn't going to interfere with our activity. However, if it's a call that needs response in a timely fashion, yes, they're going to stop the directed patrol and go handle that. For instance, a crash, motor vehicle crash. This month so far, I got an inquiry from State Police Traffic Division relative to, we only reported 2 crashes having been investigated, but there were a few more that haven't been entered into the system yet. We have 72 hours with which to complete the report. Now, that's all well and good, and I'm glad we get our work in timely, or sometimes that doesn't happen, depending on other calls for service. It's not a rigid rule by the state, but it's something we want to try to comply with, even if we can't every month. And crash reports, by rule and regulation, we're obligated to get them in within 72 hours. Again, that's one of those things where the officer might leave it go if they're busy with investigations, so on and so forth, other duties. And so they've been pretty flexible about that at the state level. I know because I've been there recently on another department where I work full time. And so I always made it a personal obligation to get that crash report in that same shift. On occasion, I can't do that. However, if you need a crash report, everyone should know that when we have the ability, we try to answer it then and comply with whatever requests the citizens have. Now, we are in the process of hiring an office clerk, office assistant, kind of an office manager, It takes a little bit of time to process those applicants. And that person is scheduled for a polygraph, which I insist, and others have communicated to me that we should do, because they're gonna be privy to a lot of confidential information. They're gonna be people that you deal with directly if you wanna go get a traffic report from the PD. Now, if the select board agrees, people from Sebatis, we don't charge them for the report. What's a piece of paper or two cost for it? Well, we have a lot of requests, but not that many. So I don't feel however, if the select board feels differently, that we should be charging, and historically speaking, if we have, then obviously I'm going to do it, and that's the way it is. So we'll have conversations later, I hope, with the board relative to those types of matters. If anybody has a question, please ask it, or try to get a hold of me during the day when I'm around, and I'd be more than glad to hear any of your concerns. Is there anything else, George, that I should be speaking to? No? I'm talking too much. Okay.
George cannot say that.
Yeah. Okay,
Thank you.
good night.
Thank you very much. No, you're done.
Good job. Oh, and by the way, we do have a uniform coming, but they're awfully slow.
Public Works,
Nothing tonight.
no update. Transfer station was attached in your packet as well, so thank you, Jerry, for submitting that in. I think, oh, do you want to go for it?
Yeah.
Great.
You called me with his phone. I got this new phone and I'm trying to figure it out.
I saw you in your truck earlier.
Awesome. You can come on up. Yeah. Jerry, you can come up as well. Thank you.
12 tons of recycling was shipped out. 29 tons of demo was shipped out. 47 tons of trash was shipped out. Grimmel's picked up 3 cans of metal. We had 50 units of Freon removed out of refrigerators, air conditioners. Ron's Home Improvements put the new safety rails up at the trash house. In your packet, you'll see the pictures. Nick and Darwin Webster, they brought 40 tires from the lake cleanup. Me and Raquel decided the normal cost would be $120 for the disposal. We waived that. Just to let the board know, I'm estimating about $400 a year comes out of my budget for different people that clean up the lake and stuff. And I was just told John's gonna pick up 4 tires at the ballpark tomorrow and bring them to us.
Make sure they're not his.
Can we get
I can't afford to throw mine out.
fingerprints off the tires?
Yeah. I use them on the cruise.
Thank you.
Thank you, Derek, for speaking.
Code enforcement, Jimmy.
So as of, let's see, this goes from October 6th to December 11th. As of October 7th, I've done 41 permits. There are currently no appeals before the appeals board. Projects coming and in the works. AvCog, Eric Buffkins is working on doing a recodification of the ordinances to incorporate the state mandates from LD 2003 and cleaning up the definitions. It's my hope for a workshop to be set for January 22nd. I'll know more when I hear from the planning board chair. The reclamation plan for Poyer Pit, the planning board did a lot of hard work over the past few months, and it has been completed and executed. I believe you guys will have a copy of that. And let's see, Noel Hinckley's property was approved at the last meeting. Roma Joe's, which is going to be put in next to the House of Pizza, is not broke ground yet, but they have to go in. I don't know if the state's holding them up or whatnot, but they should be breaking ground pretty soon.
Oh, they're
I haven't
going
heard.
in that block right beside.
Yes, between there and I believe,
Oh, that's gonna be killer.
which,
All the high school kids are gonna be there. Trust me, I have trouble.
Thank you.
you want?
Jenny,
Yeah.
could you explain the Lisbon Sebatis multi-unit thing that was talked about that you have to go to all the meetings with Lisbon?
Yes, so, so there is a piece of property where the planning board is going to have to attend with Lisbon because some of the land, a very small part of the land is with Sabatis and the rest of it's in Lisbon. And under state statute, it's required that unless the town waives to do so, that both, they have to be, they have to go before both towns. So in January, January 8th, we set the time up. I've been working with Mark Stomba, who's the code enforcement officer in Lisbon, and we will be going to Lisbon to hear what they're going to be doing. I haven't seen the project yet. It's my understanding that it is a very small part that we have in status. So, but it is required under state regulations.
Where's it located exactly?
And I believe it's on King Road, but I'm not definite.
King Road, okay.
It's the same folks, I believe, that have set up the other two buildings there.
Yep.
They have one there.
The building committee, so the, building committee, I have it, but we have new phones today, and I didn't print it, and I thought it was printed, so I'll make sure to email it when I'm able to access my email as well. But the building committee, essentially, I think is complete. We are presenting, so I don't know if the building committee wants to kind of stand up here too, you guys are welcome to. They're all, so John, yeah, Nancy, John. Come on up, come on, you guys have worked super hard. Yeah. So, option to establish a parks and recreation department. So the committee is recommending that if the town would create a recreation department, the initial operations of that would be a $600,000 to hire a director to oversee a community resource center, to launch core programs like a library service, historical society activities, senior health and wellness, a food pantry, meal preparation support, and fundraising enrichment events like a sock hop dance, cornhole tournaments, etc. Option 2 suggestion is to list the sale. We have information from Andrew Vice Realty, partnering with them initially to get the building listed for $1 million, and to allocate $75,000 to $100,000 in annual budget to until the property is sold. And then option 3 is to sell to a nonprofit. This is the committee ultimate recommendation, is to sell the property at a reduced rate to a nonprofit organization that's committed to operating it as a community center, including a 3 to 5 year return clause if they're unsuccessful. It aligns with the survey results that were received with over 100 residents, and supports the town's 2013 comprehensive plan, ensuring fiscal responsibility as well. So immediate services would mirror option 1 with additional programming like Partners from Seniors Plus. There are monthly free haircuts, youth programs, and enrichment classes as well. So after careful review of community input, financial considerations, the building committee recommends option 3. Approach balances the town's fiscal responsibility with desire to provide accessible community services while safeguarding against long-term financial risk. And the committee is here to answer your questions. This will be our last meeting. Because I feel the committee has done a great job at, collecting information, presenting it to the board. And if anyone has any questions about anything,
Yes,
yeah. Sure.
My name is Megan Peacock. I am a resident and a mom of 7 kids. We, as a team, there are 10 of us currently working on this project. We've been meeting since September. I'll speak about it for you then. So through this project, we've met monthly as well as online discussing things. And we have a working plan with grant opportunities, funding, revenue sources, timelines and structures for this building to be self-sustaining, so that it will not be a taxpayer burden. That is our intent for this project. Looking at the survey, as Laura said, we had over 100 respondents, 103. To be exact, 71 of those responses were for a community center. 65 referenced youth, 47 for recreation, 90 for seniors, 65 for a library, and 60 for teen. Out of those responses, that was within a 5-day span that we got 100 responses, and 82 of those were residents, with the other percentage of those being employers, business owners, employees within the town, and business owners within the town, or members of the rec department, community, school district community. When asked what's missing in our town, there was a lot of comments about a solid recreation department, a community resource, a library, indoor play spaces for children, activities for seniors, card nights, things like that. There was also talk about letting other nonprofits lease parts of the building to help bring in that revenue as well and offer services to the community, mental health services, coaching services, preventive health services, all of those types of things. Our intent, as I said, is not to raise the taxes, but to create a community center that is self-sustaining. We have, like I said, the grant opportunities to start with, and then fold in those other layers of funding. If we lose this building now, the community input has been that we will lose this opportunity forever, but for a long time, because we already have the bones of this project available. Selling the building for whatever it may go for, $1 million, may pass a smaller lease to taxpayers, has been discussed for a year, but investing in this opportunity as a community will benefit us long term.
Any other comments, conversation, questions? Questions before we close the, yes.
So am I understanding correctly that the option 3 would be to sell it to a nonprofit, but we would hold the mortgage and they would pay over a period of time?
No.
Okay.
Would you mind if I speak up? So the LWCF's Land, Water, and Conservation Fund would allow the property to be a municipality-sponsored building. So you would sell it, the acquisition of the property would be sold to the Savannah's Rec Department, Rec Club, sorry about that, or another nonprofit.
We offered first with people
Yes, to the rec. Yeah. And there is interest from the rec, and that was decided upon on Sunday, at what capacity that's to be determined. And so,
One other point that I'd like to make, I'd like to thank Stacy for doing the legwork on this, but Stacy has done all of the work in looking into other communities in our geographic region, which they have community centers, and those community centers are servicing communities that are either roughly the same size as ours or smaller. Right now, 5 of those communities that Stacey's looked at are nonprofit run, so a nonprofit has taken control of the project and run it as a nonprofit. 6 of those are currently town run, so that's kind of what we're looking at for those sorts of comparisons between ourselves and other similar towns. I think it is important to note that a lot of these properties, when they are sold at extreme discount. Because that does, essentially the town's investment is that lower cost to the nonprofit, which allows the nonprofit to invest more of its resources into bringing these buildings and their surrounding property up to a state that would be more functional for the town, and so that is what we are proposing.
John?
I have a question for the board or maybe for Raquel. Is there any financial interest shown for the building yet by anybody on all sides?
Nobody's contacted me.
Nothing at all?
No.
has it been advertised out to the public? I'm just curious because I know the survey, you guys are saying 103, and that's great. But I also know you go in multiple times and vote, the same person. So how accurate is it really 100 people? That's 100 people speaking for 2,500 taxpayers that have no clue really, unless they come to these meetings, what's going on. Personally, I think the options need to be put out to the town as a vote.
It has to,
And-
it has to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it legally has to be.
And then discuss then. I mean, I feel like they've already made their plan and kind of already have their decision, but it's not really putting it out to the public. And yes, we may wait a while if it hypothetically sold, but you know, if it did sell, we could probably use some of that money to build. Since the school was shut down because it weren't safe or good for the kids, why couldn't we sell it and take some of that money and build a brand new community center that meets what the community needs versus just redoing a school that we need to put a ton of money into, that is already gonna go over budget this year for being used. And we're paying more for the plowing. These people that are using it are not paying for plowing, they're not paying for sand. It's coming out of us, the taxpayers. So it's already not self-reliant. So that's just my food for thought on it.
So in response to your question about the survey, it was a Google form survey. I personally read through all of the responses. There were some multiple choice and checkbox responses. There were written responses. No two responses were identical. So if someone was going in multiple times, they were writing something different and would
But
fill
still,
out.
it's the same person.
It could have been,
Right.
but the likelihood is lower.
But that's
because it
100
wasn't
people
all-
speaking for 2,500 taxpayers. So
Regularly happens at votes that
you can go into a voting ballot and vote more than once.
So,
So-
any questions on any of the specific items? So I think you raised a great point as well, and it's not gonna be like a debatable thing at this point. So is there any other questions though, or comments?
Well, can I speak? I'm not a resident,
Kelly does. Kelly's not a resident.
I'm not a resident.
so
Thank you.
I just want to get permission, John. You know, I'm not a resident.
Jerry likes that.
I am going to say yes. Go ahead.
So I have been in the community for almost all my life, except for the last 7 years I've lived in Greenfield.
And we still hold that against you.
I know. I get fewer votes every year. But anyways, I've had, just recently, I've had a lot of people call me and ask me to support this. And I'm talking a lot. I've had probably 50, 60 phone calls to ask them to support this. And if you went with a senior center, I bet if you contacted Green, because Green doesn't have a senior citizen community center, I think that they would probably go in with you on it too, because, I mean, we're pretty close to Green. And I mean, there are a lot of grants out there for community centers that I think that the town should look into and stuff. I mean, if I lived in Spass, I would totally support it. And after the meeting's over, I'd like to, got some information I'd like to bring up.
Thank you. Definitely.
Yeah, my only comment would be, I agree that option 3 makes the most sense, but I think if it's going to go to a town-wide vote, that more information needs to be needed about what control will the town have, or will it be, we sell it to a nonprofit and then they just really do whatever they want. I would want some assurance, and obviously some more information.
Yeah, and I think that the nonprofit would have a very detailed plan as well, and expectations, timelines, all of those types of things. So, good point. John?
I would want that also if it went to a private investor or anybody buying it. If you can't keep up with the payments and you don't sell it to somebody else, it goes back to the town.
And you don't make it into something that is not desirable.
Any other? Yeah.
The town has a policy for selling stuff. You have to follow the group policy. Just so you know, and also stated in the charter and also in the comprehensive plan.
So in the charter, it was, going to vote was the piece with the attorneys. Raquel had the attorney at MMA check into some pieces of this too. And it does, what was information given to me was that it needs to go to a town vote. So the building committee itself put pieces in of what recommendations are. So, with that,
And then also have the attorney check on the bid policy, to just make sure you guys are covered.
the bid policy. Thank you. Any other conversation, questions? Yes.
I just want to say it'd be a wonderful place for the Historical Society to land, since we've been existing for 5 years, we've been collecting stuff. I think I got some stuff in my house, I know Mike's got a pile of it in his house, the lawyers have stuff, and it's just, it'd be a great place.
Yeah.
I hope what you're hearing here tonight, and what you're seeing is that there is an enormous amount of energy that has made option 3 even viable for discussion. No decision is being made here tonight, but what you're hearing is some representative voices of parents who have young children and who very much want to have a place for their children to be enriched, like many of them were enriched during their childhood years. So I hope you value that. Yes, there are other organizations like the Historical Society that would benefit from that, but what I hope you're seeing is that there is a tremendous amount of interest, energy, time, work, research that would go into just making an option something that can be presented in the near future. It's a feasibility study must be done, and in order to see if it's even a viable option. But none of that would even be possible if this is this energy and direction and commitment to the grant funding and raising the money. So I think that's a tangible thing that you have here right here tonight.
On that, I'll just say there's an open invitation to the grant meeting for land, water, and conservation, December 17th, which is tomorrow at 2:00. It is open, but that would cover acquisition of the property at whether it's a reduced low price or full about 50% of the LOF value. So it has great opportunities to not only revive the building but save the land. And make a great connection to the downtown.
Where is this property at?
36 no Converts, Sabatis Primary School.
Oh, the old primary school. I kind of know that school.
Could you explain the possibilities that we have in the capital campaign?
Okay, so with Laura's help, we were able to kind of pull together a capital campaign letter. It's a letter that is a pledge, but essentially, if a nonprofit were to scoop this opportunity and help create this, a capital campaign would allow the committee to go and to seek pledges, donations, sponsorships from local businesses, residents, and even district members. It doesn't necessarily have to come from the town of Sabatis. So but it begins with people on foot and passing out letters.
And with that, it's asking for pledges that if this goes through, if this is a done deal, will you support us? Will you give us X amount of money? And once the building is purchased, once the land is purchased, once we have things under us, then we go back to those sponsorships, those businesses, and we say, we're in the works. Let's have our check, please.
Also, letters of intent.
Letters of intent from different nonprofits, from different groups that may want to use the building as well, so that we have that tangible, this is what it could be used for, this is what it will be used for when we have to do life, if we have to do life.
And, sorry.
I live right next door to the property, so I have a really big vested interest in all of that with these. They've done a lot of work into it. I just show up and maybe complain and voice my concerns. I will say that I have been a resident for 40-something years, and as I told you earlier today, when my mom brought me to this town, I came to speaking into the meeting because I didn't want to go to some town, having left Savannah, there was nothing modern, different school systems. But I will tell you, it was probably the best thing that she did for me because the people that I met right from day one in the classroom, in Spanish primary school, are amazing people, still amazing people in the community, school teachers, I have wonderful neighbors that have been here for generations. Married somebody who's been here for however long the woods have been here.
These are dinosaurs.
5 or 6 generations, like when we had mills that we then let sit and put for sale and then destroy and an empty property. I do not want that turned into any type of low-income housing. I live next door. I don't want a pot shop going up. Again, I live next door. We're popping up all these little apartments and pods everywhere. So what tax benefit is that? Probably not great, but I find annoying. Everybody can have their own opinion. But for me, the members that I did talk to of the community that have come up to me and said, what's going on here? Do you know what's going on? Well, yeah, we really know, right? She knows a lot of the benefits, and she's 94 years old. I do not want to see her taxes go up. I do not want to see anybody's taxes go up because we can't afford it. If there's a way we can do this with grants and other means, and I've been researching, they've been researching, oh, but I'm not, but I'm quickly learning. I would like to see a benefit for people from how old rich children are, all the way up to 94, living in their own home. I want her to be able to stay there. But I also want her to have a resource. So if she needs to go to that facility for some reason to get senior assistance or whatnot, she can. That's important to me. We have a member of our community that is in town, who is in great need and living in, not a situation I would want them to live in. And thankfully, somebody had the kindness to get involved and to assist this person. This is ridiculous that we don't already do it. So if we had a center that this person could go to, unfortunately, we're closed on Fridays and we have one day that we're open till 6 p.m. This person who's a single father trying to raise 3 kids cannot fit that time frame. And perhaps maybe if there's something right next door because they can't drive, they would want to get help and assistance. This is something I would like to see. I don't want it to be a tax burden. I don't want it to sit there and rot and be, oh, it's for sale for $1 million for 5 years until it's no good. I've seen young children now in there doing cheering, and I can't tell you how excited I was to see little kids coming in and out of that building. And when nobody's there and the cops are doing their best to patrol as often as they can, we're watching. We're monitoring the kids doing cookies and tire breaking into school and the things that are going on that eventually it's going to be more, it's going to be definite. So I'm hoping that it's going to be a benefit. And I'm hoping that we as community want to see something good of this. And my last, I promise, 25 years or so ago, our children had a grant so that we could have a library, 21st century grant. And my son still remembers, even though he was only 3, I remember it fondly that it was volunteers and it was in the mini mall with mixers. And it was amazing, it was beautiful, I loved every bit of it, and we have never had anything so good. And I'm so sad that we don't, because in 40 years it's just gone down, and I can only imagine what someone like Ruth thinks after all this time of what she had in the community with her family and everybody else that was here. So I don't want to
I don't want to be known for one thing, no offense against mixers, but when somebody says, where's the Valdez, and I try to explain it, and I finally say, mixers, I'm like, oh yeah. No, I want it to be, this is the town that we care about each other, we support each other, we don't argue, we're not fighting all the time, doesn't cost anything to be kind, that's completely free. So could we get together as a community and do something good and help each other figure out how to do it versus argue about it?
That was well done. Final words to kind of close out on Rebecca said. This is pulled verbatim from one of the responses. Our community is missing essential inclusive space where people of all ages can come together to connect, grow, and thrive. Without a dedicated recreation center, we lack a safe and accessible place for youth to engage in positive activities, for seniors to stay active and social, and for families to build stronger bonds. A community center isn't just a building, it's the heart of a healthier, more united neighborhood.
Does anyone else have any comments from, and I forgot that one of the last recommendations, from the committee is, to have a chain link fence maybe across, when you drive in, there's one on the other, when you're looking at the building, there's one on the right-hand side. There's nothing on this side, and it was 20 feet, 18 feet or 20 feet would be a recommendation just to prevent people from going out back with a gate there, but, that was just, we're not engineers, and we're not other things, so, but it was a recommendation to, and a chain link fence would hopefully be high enough that it, okay.
With barbed wire on the top.
Right? Thank you guys.
But they'll keep people in or out. We'll catch them when they get in.
So next we have, the treasurer's report. Attached with a minute. Anyone like to read it? So the treasurer's report is delinquent taxes outstanding through December 9th. Tax year total amount tax due with interest is $225,746.76. Delinquent taxes collected between 11/13 and 12/9. Principal was $7,134.46. Interest with cost was $384.25. So the total amount collected was $7,518.71.
I'll make a motion that we accept the treasurer's report as in red.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Where did we find it, Nancy?
No.
It's within the.
It's an old one.
I don't have a new one. No.
She was December 2nd.
Do you have an extra copy over there?
No, there's one.
Okay. Right there.
I got one. I'll give that back to George.
I didn't put the agenda in the packet, I only put the attachment. Thank you. The treasurer was
There.
So any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Okay, unfinished business, level service review.
I'll make a motion that we adopt the level of service guidelines, level 4 road, speed straight every 3 to 5 inches instead of 6 to 8.
I'll second that.
All right, any discussion? Is
This-
public works, anyone from public works here? Okay,
So just so people that weren't here earlier, we had a public workshop to discuss the levels of roads, and the issue was level 4 roads that were only get plowed every 6 to 8 inches. We're gonna change that so that all roads essentially are level 3, so 3 to 5 inches, every road will be straight. Level 1 roads are straight every 2 inches, level 2 roads are straight every 2 to 4, level 3 roads are straight every 3 to 5 inches, and level 4 roads are gonna be straight every 3 to 5, with sand only being applied to the level 4 roads. And there are only 6 level 4 roads now. Most of them have been upgraded to level 3. I'd read you the list if I had it in front of me.
Why did you change that? Why did you change it?
Why did we change it?
Yeah. Is there a problem?
So, yes, the problem was that the level 4 roads weren't getting plowed until it was 8 inches or once per storm. And again, if you take a level 2 road that goes by a level 4 road, so a level 2 road gets scraped every 2 to 4 inches. So there could be 3 plows up on a berm on the side of a road that you can't get out of because it's got 8 inches plus a berm. So what's that give you? And I was
Ramp.
and it was I was concerned that people can't get to work living on those roads, and the public works does a great job with our roads, and not necessarily, but we had to have some expectation of what we expect.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Opposed?
Laura,
Yes.
can I ask something on the old business?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry. New business is, to appoint Nancy Reynolds to the Charter Committee.
I'll make a motion, we appoint Nancy Reynolds to the Charter Committee.
I'll second it. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? To appoint Stephanie Saltzman to the Charter Committee?
I'll appoint Stephanie Saltzman. I make a motion to appoint Stephanie Saltzman to the Charter Committee.
Second it?
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? New business C, appoint Austin Gayton to the Charter Committee.
I'll make a motion to appoint Austin Gayton to the Charter Committee.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? New business, appoint Stephanie Salzman to the Budget Committee for a 1-year term.
I make the motion to appoint Stephanie Saltzman to the Budget Committee for a 1-year term.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? New business E, appoint Nancy Reynolds to the Budget Committee, a 2-year term.
I make a motion to appoint Nancy Reynolds to the Budget Committee for a 2-year term.
I second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? New business F, appoint Scott Gerardin to the Budget Committee for a 3-year term.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Scott Gerardin to the Budget Committee for a 3-year term.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Are we going too fast? Are you okay?
You're okay, you're okay.
New business, G, to appoint Holly Wayman as tax collector.
Making a motion to appoint Holly Weymouth as tax collector.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Okay. New business to confirm appointments of the town manager. Raquel sent an email with those that I attached in your packet as well. So it has Holly Weymouth as treasurer, tax collector, general assistance administrator, Thomas Williams as town clerk, registrar of voters, Colleen Pike Howard, assistant general assistant administrator, Caitlin Blondin as deputy tax collector, Ginny Gidden as code enforcement, building inspector, plumbing inspector, E91 addressing officer, Donna Hayes as assessor, and David Lyons as police chief. Are there any?
I'll make that motion. Second.
Any discussion?
I guess my discussion will be on the rest of the items that we should appoint somebody to. Local weights and measures, what are we doing with that? Sleeper Dam Commission.
I was thinking the same with the animal control, like, I think Lisbon did hire one.
Yes.
Are we not able to utilize like we used to?
No, we are.
Oh.
As far as I know, they haven't told me otherwise. He's been open to meet everybody.
So I guess we expect to see those other positions filled.
I would say so.
Our ACO, we just did the appointment form, and the appointment form says until December of 26. So that's why he's not on the list.
Okay. And will we be able to have him come in here to meet everyone so we could put a face to the name? Well, we are paying him as.
John?
Do you have an EMA director right now?
That is usually the fire chief. So he's acting as, so our interim right now would be the EMA director.
Do you have a health officer right now?
No.
Oh my gosh, I only signed one of them.
So I guess to answer the question of the remaining ones will be coming again. These are just for
The local sealer of weights and measures, have we ever had that?
Yes. I cannot find an appointment form for that ever.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I've seen anything on that.
I think it's been appointed, but there's no appointment form.
Any other discussion? So there's a motion and a second to confirm the appointment to the town manager. All those in favor? Opposed? None? Great. Next is charter committee, extend the timeline.
Speak a little bit about that. According to Title 30A, the Charter Commission, once elected, has 12 months to do a final report, to report back to the municipality. That Charter Commission was elected in 2024, so 12 months from 2024 would be now. The Charter Commission was never really started. The Select Board, from what I can tell, didn't really appoint 3 people, but because they were elected in 2024, it would be prudent for the Select Board to extend the timeline, even though the election was for 3 years. The election was very clear, it's a 3-year term. The statute says the Charter Commission has 1 year to do a final report. So it'd be prudent for the board to extend the timeline to get the final report to the municipality for another 1 year. Now that the appointments are done, it is, according to the statute, it's the responsibility of the clerk to set an initial meeting of all of the individuals who have been elected and appointed to elect a chair and a secretary of that charter commission, according to Title 30A. So my recommendation to you as the board would be to extend that timeline to the charter commission.
I'll make a motion to grant an extension of the time for the Charter Commission to begin their work for 1 year.
Second.
Any discussion?
So if does that mean we couldn't make any modifications to the charter in the town meeting in June or May, whenever we have it?
So what he's saying is that it gives them a year to work on it, but if the charter commission gets together and starts working now and has it done by June,
Does
it
it-
could be voted on.
But does it have to be fully done? Because, for example, I'm thinking about the rule that you have to be a town resident to be, I can't think of the person, but whoever, Amadeo.
Yep,
The-
Gloria.
Oh, the moderator.
Yeah, so I think that's something that would be great if we could modify that sooner versus later. And I'd rather wait or rather have something come to the town in June where we make that modification so we don't have to worry about that in future town meetings. So I'm just questioning whether they can say, all right, we're making these changes, this is what we recommend now. It's not a full encompassing
Right.
review of the charter, but we want to make some changes.
I'm not sure about modifying.
Wouldn't they just be able to do it again the next year, like make, 10 changes this year and 10 changes next year?
I'll have to look closer at the statute, but I don't think you'd be able to make a change that quickly.
Mhm.
Because once you make a change, you have to reopen a new charter commission, elect new members. This charter commission's only good for one set of changes. It's not, it's not ongoing. It's for one revision. It's how I've read the statute, but I'll read again, and I'll contact MMA and I'll find out for sure.
Tom?
I'm not sure what the legal thing will be, the state law will be, but it says periodic review. This charter will be reviewed at least every 5 years unless the Board of Selectmen makes a determination that earlier review is necessary. It seems like it could be done before the 5 years if you read something.
Thank you. Any other discussion? The motion is second, so all those in favor of extending the timeline a year? All those in favor? See how you guys like the wording. Opposed? Great. New business J, Diane Bergeron, use of the elementary school for pickleball.
Hi, I'm Diane Bergeron. I'm not a resident here, but I lived here all my life. I still own a home in Sabatis. My son and family live there. And my granddaughters are playing, are cheerleaders, and they're using the school at this time. The problem we're having is that I've been a part of the Litchfield rec, because I live in Litchfield. And they forgot about pickleball.
On purpose.
Yes. Thanks, Lee. They forgot about the adults having fun too and being able to play and just getting together, being social, doing things that, kids will do too. But we've been using the Cary River School. And just like the cheerleaders, we were left out. We were playing there twice a week, and they made all the basketball all the schedule for the basketball. Totally forgot about, the elderly people. We're 34 people that played. We're part of that group. And I'm just looking to see if it's even big enough. I don't even know if we can even put up, a couple nets or whatever. But it's something for our community, as well as people, there are people from Sabatis that played with us. And it's just, it's just part of trying to find some place that's local for people to get together. For the adults to be able to be, to have fun and be social. It's a really great social thing for us. It's great exercise, and there's a lot of interest. And I'm sure if we had it here, there'd be more interested people that would want to play. And we want to do it for kids too. We'd love to be able to get kids involved playing pickleball. It's a great sport. It's just, and we don't have any place to play at this time. I'd have to run to Lewiston or Augusta, and it's just kind of out of the way for a lot of us to get around. So I was hoping that I could just, talk to people about possibly using the school. If I know that it's, you had mentioned, I think that was something about insurance or the fire department having to prove for the fire marshal. And I know that my granddaughters are both in cheering. They're in 5th grade and 7th grade here at the middle school. And they're cheering there and, they're using it. And I think they're the only ones that are using it at this time. But it would be wonderful to be able to have a space for us to be able to use it as well and do something for the adults, not just for kids. And again, I don't even know what size the gym is. If you could even put in, up a couple nets. We were told we could use Carrie Ricker, Libby Tozier, but we can only put up one net at Libby Tozier. It's not wide enough to be able to put up 2 nets. And when you have 34 people, you have one place or one net up, you might get a game in if you're lucky, if a bunch of people show up to play. And it just doesn't give you enough time to be able to put up nets and get everything set up and be able to enjoy it. So it's just, I know that we could be flexible as far as playing mornings if there's things going on in the evening or later after school. We don't mind playing early and be done mid-morning or mid-afternoon. And then if there's things going on after school, the kids would have it anyway. And that's the thing with Carrie Ricker. We are not able to get into it because there's school every day. They don't get out till 3. And then for us to be able to get in there, we did play from 3:30 to 5 because basketball started last year at 5 o'clock. And it still starts at 5, but they have the gym set up for 4 o'clock. Now we'd only have a half hour to be able to play. We can't do it in that. So I'm just saying if there's any way that we could, get in and get people to get together and, adults doing something for fun. And I know that Savettis is also trying to get a senior citizen group. And so this would be another thing to bring more people in to be part of this. Thank you.
Thank you. Nancy?
Are you asking on behalf of Litchfield Rec?
No.
On behalf of yourself?
We're no longer part of this, we're no longer any part of the Litchfield Rec Department. The woman that started the pickleball was an officer in the rec department, and she has resigned because there's been, we basically kicked out. So she's resigned from that. We're no longer going to be, we're going to try to do it as just a club or whatever.
So do you have any insurance or?
Well, that was the other thing too. If you think that, I know liability is a big thing. And we could be part of if we're part of a club, then I think we could get liability under being part of a club. Or if there's any way that we could do, like even having people sign, we could together put up something that we could sign and would take the liability off from the town if there were any injuries.
As the code enforcement officer, I view that as a change of use. The fire marshal's office allowed the youth to utilize it because it still was a school activity. Is that my understanding? This is a different group, and it will trigger the fire marshal's office to come in because it is, unfortunately. I know everyone wants a piece of this building and everyone's pushing forward, but there's definitely steps that are gonna need to be taken. And, yeah.
What does that entail for the fire department to change?
It's not the fire department, it's the fire marshal at state level.
The state level?
Yes.
Okay.
And
And
they
is
have,
there something,
they have different requirements, they'll have to come in, they'll have to take a look, they'll look at the sprinkler systems, they'll look at the exits, they'll look at a lot of things within the building. And the change of use actually has to go before the planning board. So there are some steps.
okay, thank you.
Sorry.
I would like to suggest that if you want to do something like that, I would reach out to the rec club and partner with them in years ago, when my kids were of age and wanted to do certain sports and we didn't have them, I worked directly with the rec club and we were able to implement something that would move in that direction. And I think there's rec club members that are here that would be happy to talk to you about that, and there may be options they can
The
work
thing
through.
that comes down to the building, though, right?
There's a great resource right up behind you.
Right behind you. Hey. But no, but reaching out to the rec club would be huge, just to have the beginning conversations, and then we can catch up on all those things that are being discussed. Cool.
Thank you, Jane.
Thank you.
So Joe, so the notice of like,
I'm gonna give you my
is this being tabled? Should we make a motion to deny? Like what?
I say motion to deny, say.
So, yeah, motion.
I make a motion to deny, Diane Bergeron use of elementary school for the pickleball.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of denial? So non-approval, I guess, of the use?
It's a vote, it's a no vote. It's you're voting no.
Oh.
Yeah.
So all those in favor of voting no for the use of the field for pickleball? And opposed? So Joe,
He's not here, I'm representing him.
hi, American Legion relocation of the sign.
What's that?
Go ahead, your sign.
Sign. I don't know if anybody's ever seen it, because it's been there for 30 years down by Danny's. There was a sign that said American Legion Post. Well, it's no longer there, it's sitting in my garage. Unfortunately. We would like to move it to a location up near Rusty Lantern, like across from the parking ride, right up in there. And we're looking for approval to do that.
Can't you have to go to the state?
What? So I might have to go to the state for that. Yes.
Town land, though.
So I don't know why Joe put this on your agenda, but
Where the Knights of Columbus used to put their sign on top of that cement wall.
It was part of the cement wall.
Where the Holy Cross
Oh,
sign was.
Yeah,
oh. Is that where you wanted to put it?
that's where he wanted it, yes.
You came on his behalf, you should have known that.
They don't tell him anything.
Trust me. I found out yesterday when it showed up in my front yard. So,
So is there, thank you, is there a motion for the relocation of the sign?
or should I contact the state?
I don't think there's a motion for us to make because it's not our call. It's a state, you have to fill out a form with the state, they approve it, you pay them,
Right.
and then they allow you to put it up.
And you put it back where it was.
So was
Been there
it
for
with the
30
town
years.
line sign? Welcome to
Yeah, it was
Sabatis?
right there.
Was it
by-
attached to the
So
sign?
you had Danny's garage?
Yep.
And then there's that trailer, right there. So right there between that trailer and Uncle Mo's.
And did you, like, I just don't understand, because if that didn't need approval, this needs approval now, because it's state road, there's a state road down there.
To me, it would need approval from you guys because it's town land.
Right.
But obviously it was already approved where it was before.
Right, that was approved by Danny. She said leave it there as long as you want. But nobody's, I mean, I've lived here 53 years. I never saw that sign. You've seen it?
I wonder why it was there.
What's that crap?
Well, I wonder why it was there, because I'm like, Legion's nowhere around here, but I
Yeah,
know.
that's down on the left.
So Jenny, as a code enforcement, the sign would need state approval?
I'm gonna have to look into that because I didn't think it would, if it's going to be on town property. I mean, if you have a business, it's not like a driveway, it's a sign. Where driveways and entrance off a state road, you have to get a state permit for that. But I didn't think so for a sign, so I
If it's
have to
something
look
that's
into that.
movable,
Excuse me?
if it's something that's removable,
Right, and it's not, you're not putting it in the right of way of the state road.
correct.
It would be on actual town property, which is why it came before the select board.
Okay.
Yes.
But you guys don't know if that belongs to the town or if it belongs to the state.
It says on the GIS it belongs to the town.
So is there a motion to approve this on town property?
So if it works out, great, I will get information from her. And if we're able to do it, we can do it. If not,
It's going back to where it's not going back to where it was. You wanna move the location of it.
we want to move location. And I have some other options too, so. We could go down near Sturdy Hardware or,
Could we table this till you have, no,
The sign is movable as well, right, you said, so like you could
it's
put
a
it,
mobile sign.
yeah, so you could put it there and then.
If I get spanked, I move it.
yeah, Jim.
I have to deal with it.
So I think that it's a Legion sign and it's,
It is.
Garage sale sign.
yeah, exactly.
Or
If it was a
Chilson
Legion,
sign.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's that same thing. It's
Yeah,
different.
it's,
Yeah, he's just asking permission from the town to put it on town property,
Well, I
that's
don't
all.
think they've asked us permission, so. I'm at it.
No,
So I
Eddie
just need a
never asked.
motion to.
I'll make a motion to approve moving your sign.
Awesome.
Any
Keep
second?
it out of the way of people driving.
Is there a second?
I don't know what else to say to you. You don't know
Right in the middle of the road.
You don't know where you're putting it, so I can't make an approval for you to put it somewhere, so.
Over by the parking lot.
Well, he just said sturdy, now he's saying here.
But I think
No,
we
they're
could put it down, if I do it by Sturdy, then it's on their property.
Yeah.
So, but they already have a sign for us there. This is just a little.
This would get more Yeah.
Coming up here to the corner, it'll get more
exposure.
Yeah, and just don't put bingo on it, because you don't have that.
You didn't get the bingo license.
Yeah,
So
this
I have,
morning.
and I have.
Don't put bingo on
Is there
it.
a second?
Second. I apologize.
It's okay.
So I think Rick, you made who made the motion?
I made the motion.
Where'd the chief of police go?
Ran away.
Any other discussion?
I have more discussion. I think that just opens up the town to other people wanting to put the sign there, their sign there. And then whether or not we would entertain that by other groups, the rec department, recreation club, other snowmobile clubs.
So they would have to come to us and ask.
Well, that's what I
Like
mean,
they-
but again, I don't think, if we do it for one, we gotta do it for all. And I don't think it's.
Not really.
Okay, so another.
Yes. Let me finish,
Yeah,
please.
hold
Thank
on.
you very much. You're out of order. So again, I think that we should think about what we're doing and what it might open us up to by other organizations who want to put signs there. And that your sign's in front of my sign, the whole nine yards.
I'm actually not opening it back up to you, so you already will.
I was gonna add one thing to this.
It's okay though. Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving the sign for American Legion at the relocation site at Wilson Drive? All those in favor? All those opposed? The motion passes. Thank you.
Did you hear that? Well, did he hear what you just said, just so he doesn't, because I know he had a few different locations. Did you hear what Laura said?
No, I did not.
Approved that where you indicated off of by the Niagara Columbus sign. That was there. So you're approved to go in that section.
Okay,
Where you intended.
thank you.
You're welcome. So CMP pulled permit about 1,375 feet from Dan Drive on Lisbon Road. That is as well, Raquel sent that in an email, so it's in your packet.
I motion to approve the CMP pole permit for a pole located at about 1,375 feet from Dan Drive on Lisbon Road.
Is there a second? Any discussion?
Can I ask what that is, a CMP pole permit? Is that CMP asking for permission?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you have to ask permission to put up a pole?
Yep.
Wow.
Any other discussion?
I'm just wondering why they need it. Is it, there's too much space between a run, or they're putting in a new, do you know?
They
I
didn't
don't
provide
think
that.
the application states it,
Oh, they just, okay.
but the application, generally, when I've come across that, because it's because they've got a house coming, or they need to, yes, they gotta put the pole up on the wires.
Former. I mean, that's 1,000 feet from her driveway.
Well, but yeah, I'm just wondering.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Next is approval of select board meeting minutes for 11/18/2025.
Make a motion that we approve the November 18th, 2025 select board minutes, written and read.
I'll second. Any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? And those abstaining? Comments from the town manager?
I don't have a whole lot. I'm working on, budget is taking up a lot of my time right now. I'm working on trying to get different contracts and reviewing the contracts that we've had. It doesn't look like anybody's really addressed those in quite some time. Today we switched cell phones over to T-Mobile. We're also looking at internet. I'm looking at health insurance. We're just pricing everything to see if we get the best deal that's out there. So between trying to put the budget together and having meetings with all these different places, it's taking some time. The other thing I have is the fire station grant. After the vote, I contacted Senator Collins' office to find out how we get going with that money. So that's through HUD, and somebody else had already started that process. God knows how long ago when that money was first started. So now I'm in a queue waiting for information on how to gain access from the government because I don't have any of the credentials to get in. So working on it, don't have any idea when it's gonna happen because I could be in that government queue for some time. That's about all I've got.
I just want to check, is there any update on the online payment?
Oh, yes, actually, yes. We're going live. I'm glad you brought that up. So, yes, I just, hopefully, I think this Friday, because we can't have any use of the computer when they go in and give the information and get it ready, but I'm hoping next week will be tax payments, we'll be able to be live. Water and sewer, we're still hung up, but we can see the taxes going. And the hang up is because it's 3 different systems. It would be easier if it was all one, but it's not. But yes.
Is it able to eventually be money or is it?
No, even water and sewer are separate from each other. So that we've at least got tax payments getting ready to roll.
Could you just give a brief overview for the people?
Will it be for the March?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes, because anybody that owes right now could go starting next week. So we'll have more information on Facebook and on our webpage on how to access that. And I'm sure there'll be a clickable link put on Trio. Yeah.
That's awesome. That was actually pretty well. And you're short recess.
I'll just say a quick thing about that website. Property owners will be able to search by map and lot number, last name, or property address, and find your tax bill and pay your bill by card right online with the same transaction fee that you pay right here in the office without having to come into the office. You'd be able to create an account right on that website. It's a website separate from sabatis.org and save your payment information. So you can log in every time that you want to pay your taxes. So every time that your taxes come due, you can log right in and pay that. And hopefully, water and sewer will be up to date soon, and we'll have that all set up as well.
Okay, comments from the board, so. Well, just modify that, I guess, for sure.
So, I'd like to start by, again, thanking Public Works for doing an excellent job on the roads, in the big storm, the 6-inch storm or so. The roads are much better in Sabattis than they were in Lewiston on my way to work in the morning, so that was wonderful. Again, dog licenses are currently available, so if you're looking to license your dog, the licenses are available upstairs. For Raquel, I guess, update on a transfer station truck.
Still, the new one or the old one?
Both.
So the new one, Jerry, you still sitting here?
No.
No, okay. I think it's February before the new one will be ready, and the old one is still getting worked on.
And just questions or things to do, can we, now that we've appointed the individuals, can we update the website to include all of those people in administrative contact, and as well as update the calendar, doesn't show any time off for the holidays. And the municipal directory, in the municipal directory, every function or every line should have an email contact that's emailable. So like now, water is listed, but it's grayed out and you can't contact water via email. So if you can get that fixed so that the public can directly access, email to water department and not have it go nowhere. And I asked the last meeting whether that we could get union contracts up on the website into the document library.
Noel. I do have to take my phone out for this. I'm gonna touch base on a couple things. So first off, I would like to say thank you to Public Works. In the years past, I do live on Bodenham Road, and the road is, usually people complain about it. So I'm just thank them for all the positive comments from daycare parents, storage unit customers, and just the community that travel that road a lot. I've been hearing nothing but positive feedback. And it's very much appreciated. The next thing I'd like to touch on is my role up here. When I ran for the seat, I did not run to be liked, and I didn't run to make friends. I run to do a job. That job is to help run a town like a business, keep taxpayers' costs down while maintaining a safe, well-functioning, and welcoming community. That being said, I have met some really great people while serving as a select board member. And this role has brought me closer to the community involvement, which I truly value. There's been a couple things, as a board, it takes all of us to get one little thing done. And I want to thank everyone that has sat with me and sits here now, because you guys are all doing a really good job, and I appreciate it. For one example, I've asked about the cell phones for numerous years to be looked into. It finally has been looked into, and now we're on a good road of some decent savings. I think Raquel can speak to that.
It's not gigantic. It's about $1,200 a year, but it's something, and every little bit helps, so.
Yes.
Yeah, we started with that.
The process has finally moved forward. This is exactly the kind of work we should all be doing. Reviewing how money is spent and identifying opportunities to be more efficient and fiscally responsible. That is why I sit in this chair, and that's why I take my role as a select board member seriously. Lastly, I'd like to address the concern that has been brought to my attention the recent weeks. Before rumors continue to escalate, I want to be clear. I am recently engaged, but I do not live with my fiance. I own multiple properties here in Sabattis, and I live in one of them. I have lived at the same residence for the past 6.5 years. Any rumors suggested otherwise are simply not true. I respectfully ask that people stop spreading misinformation. You are not a part of my personal life, and assumptions do not reflect reality. Thank you very much.
Nancy?
So I have really just a list of questions. I sent them to you, Raquel,
Yeah.
but, so I don't expect you to answer these. I'm just gonna kind of rattle them off because I
Okay.
want people to know I'm asking questions.
Okay.
So every meeting I've come to, other than the last two, John Manili has asked about fire department maintenance items. So I would really like to have a list of maintenance items prioritized by the fire department as to what needs to be done and what can be done internally and what requires contracting for. So we can start to look at that and chip away at it. I'd like to understand more about town office staff and job descriptions. I was looking online, I didn't see if they were there, and maybe they are, and I just didn't find them. I would like to clarify expectations around hours of operation, and I'm not trying to change anything, I just want complete transparency for the community. I wanted to understand a little more about how training works for our office staff, because we have all new people. How are we managing the training budget and ensuring that everybody gets the training that they need without going over budget on that line item? I wondered what would happen when we go live with online payments. How does that change the workflow? Have we thought about that? And what can we do to ensure that you're not stuck doing clerical tasks all the time and can really do the important work of a town manager?
Stay fully staffed, that would help.
I'd like to understand, or I'd like to see in our weekly or packets, a list of all the things in flight with ETAs. So for example, the going live with online payments and when we expect that to happen, or the fire chief position and when we're anticipating we might fill that. I have a suggestion, and maybe it's for you, Laura, around department head reports. I think it would be really nice if we received the report, but if it's nothing that we need to act on, do we need to review that in this meeting? Or is it something we can just say, we received the report, here it is. If we have questions, we can let Raquel know, and then the department head can be there to answer them, and we can utilize that time for other important business. I'd like to understand personally what is and isn't legally allowed to move around for funds. Is it by cost center? Is it by line item within the cost center? So just more learning and training for me. At what point do we freeze cost centers or line items if spend is too high? How do we, and where I'm going with this is how do we as a board ensure that we don't have a situation such as Lisbon? Because I do not want to be in that spot. I feel like I am personally accountable to each and every townsperson for the budget, and I want to make sure that I'm reviewing that budget and being accountable and know what I'm signing on. I'd like to understand when we use MMA versus our town lawyers and what that looks like. I'd like a status of the public works foreman role. And can we start to frame up topics of conversation for future board meetings? So ideally, I think there's things that we should be talking about, like short-range plans, long-range plans. And can we say, okay, in February at this meeting, we're going to have this on the agenda, and start to build something out so we have a plan and we know what we'll be talking about much further out in the future. That is my list.
Rick?
So I received a letter tonight, I'm gonna read it. It says, Dear Rick McComb, I, Jerry Sabins, am writing this letter in support of Raquel Roach Day. Raquel is more than just a town manager. She is the definition of a true leader. She is reliable and professional. She leads by example. When her staff is shorthanded in the town clerk's office, she has no problem going in and giving them a hand. I believe she has the skill, determination, and leadership to get the town back on track. She works efficiently with the department heads to achieve the goals of the town for the residents. I have worked for the town of Sabattis for 32 years. In this time while working for the town, I have worked with a lot of town managers. Raquel is one that lets you do your job. If you are following the town policy and procedures, if I go see Raquel about a matter, she always listens and we come up with a plan of action. It's a pleasure to work with a a town manager you can trust. Jerry Sabins, Transfer Station Manager.
Comments from the chair. I just had, congratulations to Garrett Giles that was promoted to lieutenant in the fire department. We have, as well to the community, there's a lot of sporting events going on with basketball at our, schools. So try to catch a game at the high school. The middle school has, some activities happening, probably with the occasional care worker do too. I don't have kids in those schools, but, so, and then as well as some concerts. The band at the high school has a rock concert this week. And so I could be making that up though, maybe. Something.
It was tonight.
Oh, it was nice. See,
That's why
guys?
I had to leave to pick them up from it.
Oh. So I think it would be nice at some point to partner and share on our calendar on the website some of those events, because they, the kids do amazing things with drama and sports and band and things like that too. So, yeah, I think the RSU maybe does share some of that somewhat. I don't know, they have a great communication output of it, but maybe something that our board directors can work on too. But and then utilization of this community room, there is a facilities policy, so maybe being able to kind of anyone that was looking to start senior services or limited on space for things, there's a facilities use thing online, so make sure to check that out. Welcome Nancy as well, so thank you for joining us, and that is all I think I had with, oh, a library. There's been a lot of chatter online about a library and where to access libraries around, and I don't know, I suggested Raquel that they just reach out to you. I think some people are kind of.
I asked you why we didn't have that.
What I heard from actually Norman LaPlante is that at one point you were supposed to be able to use the high school in 1983, maybe?
Watch it.
Norman,
Watch it about 83.
So I do think there's a couple people in our community that have reached out to different organizations, Auburn being one of them, and things to maybe try to figure out how to partner and provide access to that, so.
Lisbon also has a nice library,
Yeah.
and I know you can pay a fee.
Comments on the floor? Oh, sorry.
To the library point, the town looked into joining the Lewiston Library years ago, and they have to pay a stipend to the Lewiston Library. I know like some other towns do, and I think, I'm not sure which one it was, but it might be Mechanical of Poland, it's $2,200 that they have to, and all residents get a free library card. But the town would pay the stipend
Right.
to use the library.
We do that in Peru as well.
Yeah.
Pay to Dixfield to be about 2,000.
That one or 2 years.
Yeah, we did.
And
Yeah.
kind of do, libraries are not just books, right, too, so they have your internet access, printing
Right.
service,
Yeah.
like faxing,
Yeah.
things like that too, so.
Yep.
Okay, any other comments from the floor? Yeah, Mr. Wood.
So, I'm Steve Wood, I'm your state rep, if you didn't know me. So, we go back into session January 7th. This is our short session, it's supposed to be done April 15th, it's supposed to be. We got 310 bills that we're gonna be hearing this year. That's about 60 more than we normally would hear on a short session year. They are definitely not going to comply with the overtime and tips tax benefit that the federal government has given. They've totally said no to that. With the tax on cigarettes, paint, Netflix, the streaming services and stuff. And the tobacco, the state has brought in $186 million more in tax revenue. And we put in a bill this last week to give it back to the taxpayers. and they voted no, not to let it go through. So, and they're talking about ways to spend, because we've got $268 million more in revenue. So they could do away with if they did away with the extra taxes that they voted in on the last budget, they'd still have $98 million in extra revenue. But no, they're gonna spend all of it, in their, extra, Christmas tree, spending. So, but, if anyone needs me, I'm very easy to get a hold of. And I've got the cards for
I think I updated the website with your information at one point this summer.
Is that your state card or is that your power washing business card?
Any other comments? So I will ask that you probably stand and say your name. So I'll just start I'll start on this side.
Don Landry, just a question on the taxes, paying taxes online with the credit card. No ACH, or there's gonna be a fee to use your credit card on, or no fee on the credit card?
There will be a fee,
3%, something like that?
about 3%, the same you would pay in the office. It's the same
Okay.
company.
Are they gonna do the ACH?
I'm not
That's a
sure.
lot of money.
I'm not sure, I'll look. When we go live, there'll be a post on Facebook.
I'm going this side. Nobody else on this side of the room? John?
Regarding the, updating the web pages, the water district, who takes care of that web page? Because it still says normal plants on the board. And there was another person that was on there that's gone by now, so. Okay, anyway, the electronic sign out front, did we ever get any upgrade thing for that to make it easier to change it?
No.
Is it possible?
If you got extra money,
Okay.
we didn't have any extra money.
Steve?
Hey, I got the wrong letter to say my name.
All right, I'm just wondering. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Corey, we'll go from the back of the front.
Corey Golub, I don't know anything really about how it works, but is it possible to research if the town hall could be used as a repository for the interlibrary loan program? It might be a good interim solution until it's decided the library goes, but I mean, it's on a library loan, you have it. You request a book online, or you call the library, and then it gets shipped to certain locations. Usually they're educational facilities or other existing libraries, but I don't know what I don't know, so I don't know if the town hall could be a repository.
Awesome. Thank you.
The high school is a spot.
The high school is a spot.
It is.
Anyone in the second row? Yes.
My name's Jim Rancourt. Spanish Historical Society is having their annual Christmas get-together tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Everybody's invited. I also want to ask a question. Has the ownership of where the Webster Rubber Company existed been resolved? I know the business that used to own it no longer exists.
Correct.
So I don't know where to
And I
go from
think,
there.
Jenny, correct me if I'm wrong, the last we got with Donna was it's ours. Or, yeah, I believe it's town owned.
I went in and looked on the property tax maps 2 or 3 weeks ago, and the plot that was the Webster Rubber was from Dreamscape, something from, like, Winslow, I don't think it was even farther north than Winslow. Winslow, I think, yeah. That's who's on our books anyway, I guess. But I didn't see them in the town report as a property tax owner either, so I don't know.
Is it tax exempt?
Could be.
Yes, somebody along the way was tax exempt.
Puppeteers.
Yes.
You only got one time, sorry. Kelly?
My name is Kelly Bozosto, and I'm a resident of Wales, but I wanted to thank Laura for the time and energy that you put into the building committee group. I can, speaking for myself, I've done 8 years of research on the possibilities of what this building could be, and to have people look at you in the face and believe that this is something that can happen, that listen, even if your words feel convoluted and your plans feel convoluted. The hardest part is being able to disagree, that sometimes we have to make and take risks. And this one would be worth taking. But I want to thank you again because I know your time is up. For everybody else, the building committee does continue, does desire to continue as a citizens initiative. And so I know it is, a bulk of us are coming to the community resistance or resilience partnership meeting on the 6th. But there's more information that's going to be available, and we want input, we want to see. So it's going to be available if it's, we want you to come. So that's the noise. So thank you so much again. And thank you all.
Yes, I'm Karen Atwood, and I wanted to just share a little information about the Historical Society. Part of our mission is to encourage and support the opportunity to learn about history and plus preserve the history that we're working on as we speak. One of the ways that we hope to do that is by resurrecting the Boston Post cane from many years ago. This began in 1909, and these canes were sent to New England communities to be given to the oldest citizen or resident in the town, which really speaks to those people who are willing, they've lived here all their lives, or they've moved here later in life because they bring their experience and can share that with the community. So this used to be, I believe, managed by the administration of the town office, but that kind of fell by the wayside. So as a society, a historical society, we'd like to resurrect that. The first one, for example, in the town of Webster was in 1909 to a Mr. Niles, Joseph Niles. We're all probably familiar with that name. When he passed, a Mr. Potter received the cane. He served in the 16th Maine Regiment in the Civil War and was captured on the first day of the Battle of Gettysburg. So we have a lot of rich history among our residents. So we'd like to kind of bring this back to life, which brings me to a couple of asks of you. Due to the obviously no permanent space at this time, once we get this program up and running, we would like to be able to have a shadow box or something in the town office until we have a place to keep it permanently that would contain the cane, a plaque, and a photograph of the recipient. In addition to that, to choose a recipient, there would be a nomination form. We don't know who the oldest person is. So there would be a nomination form. There's some guidelines, basic guidelines. They have to be at least 80, have lived in the town for 10 years, etc. So we would ask that perhaps you would allow us to either share some information on the website, maybe a link to the nomination form and guidelines, and allow us to put paper copies of the nomination form in the lobby upstairs. I don't know if you have to go up that. And not only that, that's all that business stuff. We have really started to try and grow the society a little bit. We had our 3rd annual Diggy Winslow Ice Cream Social in June, so we expect to see you all for the 4th. We have the Christmas Social tomorrow. Facebook presence, website, wonderful oral histories from residents that some of you have spoke about tonight. They're great. I just love to watch them. Mr. Waterman, Jerome Davis, Benny Hurd, Diddy, Ruth Wheeler. And the stories that they tell are hilarious. So we would hope you would take advantage of those. It's
historical oral histories on YouTube. And we meet the third Wednesday of every month at 11 o'clock at the American Legion, so everybody's welcome.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks.
Anybody, Mark? Thank you.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, anybody else?
Can I just ask a clarification question? So that is primary. Would that need to be plowed out and sanded regardless of Sharon's presence there? Is it the town-owned building and we would need to access it?
You would have to keep it open for access at least, yes.
Thank you.
So normally it's only gonna be one time, but since you guys gave me forgiveness this time, go ahead.
Do you guys have the update on the dam?
No.
Dam's all done except for, the railing and the top, the planks, the walkway. That should be done. They was making them, they're just gonna install them. And, but water's running through it. It's a beautiful site. They're gonna have a grand opening, this spring, with all the, organizations that came together and so, yeah.
We could put something else. Yeah.
It's a beautiful site.
Will we know when?
Yes.
John?
Rick should, if Rick makes the meeting.
John?
The running program for the rec club is hosting its 10th annual jingle jog this Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. So if you go to the ice cream social on Wednesday at the Historical Society and want to run off some ice cream, it's a run, walk, jog, but we will have people, we had 42 people there last year, dressed up in ugly sweaters or antlers or bells or whatever. 10 a.m. Saturday morning. If you're in the village area, please drive carefully. I've asked Chief Lyons for a little bit of assistance at the intersection down by Sturdy. And the fire department, I hope, is going to be able to put a truck out with their lights on in front of their station. They don't have to leave the station, but just have some lights going on. So please be careful Saturday morning around the village area.
Awesome. Thank you.
Laura? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody noticed, but last weekend in the Mixes parking lot, there was a bus parked there. And that was for people to drop off stuff for the holiday baskets that the school gives out. And every year they've upped the amount that they've given out. And they're going to be able to do that again this year because of the generous donation of the people of the town.
Awesome. Thank you, Sharon. Great. All right, anybody else? Okay, so important dates, they're listed on the agenda, so I'll make you guys go read those on your own. This month alone, the town office is closing at 1 p.m. on the 24th, closed on the 25th, nothing the 31st, and closed on January 4th, and then there's future dates. So without any other objections?
When's the last select board meeting?
It's the 4th of January.
Yeah, so we have the resilience, I can't think of it right now, community resilience workshop meeting. Come on, I could have written down, I don't have my agenda in front of me.
January 6th. Yep.
Yes, okay.
And I'm sure it'll be posted as well. And
yes.
So I adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Oh, I don't.
Do I have a second? Oh, select board meeting, I said that wrong, it's the 4th.
I second.
All in favor?
It's the 6th. Let's go on the 6th, okay?
George, do you have the? Never mind.
I do have
I think that's how it got lost, George.
Oh, no, I'm talking about March.